Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to our channel, Eaton Squad. My name is Eddie. So for today's video is full of good news, straight from Cebu. Details coming right up. So today is February the 9th of 2022. So one more day, then the Philippine borders will be open for fully vaccinated foreign tourists. Finally, after almost 2 years of travel restrictions, lockdown, and all that, the Philippines is going to welcome foreign tourists once more in the Philippines tomorrow, February 10 of 2022. And aside from Manila, Cebu government is also preparing for the reopening of foreign tourists. They actually have several good news to all foreign tourists traveling to Cebu anytime soon or from February 10 going forward. Governor Gwen has also signed an executive order that I know this particular category is going to like, and this is going to be good news for them. So please stay tuned on that. But for now, I am going to read an article that the Cebu Tourism has posted on their official Facebook page. And I am also going to read the executive order that Governor Gwen has signed today. And as well as the Secretary of Tourism also has some good news to everybody, particularly for foreign tourists coming into the Philippines starting tomorrow. So sit back and relax. Here's the good news. So this article is from Cebu Tourism, particularly Cebu News Facebook page. This is the official Facebook page of Cebu. So direct tourist flights from Korea and Japan could soon resume. So looks like there will be more flights for international flights going to Cebu, particularly in Korea and in Japan. Cebu is ready for international tourists. Yes, this is February the 9th. And that should start February the 10th. And Cebu has laid out their plans on what they're going to do on the reopening of Philippine borders. Direct flights carrying tourists from Japan and Korea may resume sooner. This as Cebu is finally reopening its borders to vaccinated tourists, visa-free countries such as Korea and Japan, in move that is seen to save the pandemic-stricken tourism industry here. This was the agreement raised by Governor Gwendolyn Garcia during her meeting with stakeholders on Monday, February 7th, to discuss the new IATF rule that lifts the quarantine requirement for vaccinated foreign tourists. The consuls of Japan, Korea, and China, the top 3 tourist markets of Cebu, who were present during the meeting, welcomed the move and were optimistic that visitors from their countries will soon return. Meanwhile, Governor Garcia said Cebu will accept fully vaccinated foreigners from non-visa required countries for tourism purposes, regardless if their country of origin accepts the Philippine VaxCert PH under reciprocal agreement. So meaning, even if you are coming from a country without the reciprocal agreement with the Philippines, Cebu will still accept you as long as you can present a vaccination proof that you are fully vaccinated. So this is only in Cebu, unfortunately. Manila and other international airports are going to implement those reciprocity agreement with the Philippines from the 33 countries. But for Cebu, it's all good news. Looks like Governor Gwen is going to abolish this system. The governor will issue a memorandum that laid down Cebu's own protocols for vaccinated foreign tourists, particularly taking away this reciprocal arrangement requirement as stated by IATF in its new ruling. The governor and stakeholders have agreed that reciprocal arrangement for vaccination proof shouldn't be a requirement, at least in Cebu, considering that the country has long been accepting vaccinated overseas Filipino workers and returning overseas Filipinos without this requirement. So, if you are one of those who are so worried that your vaccination proof cannot be verified or not going to be accepted by the Philippines, I highly recommend flying into Cebu because like I mentioned earlier, looks like they are going to abolish this system, the reciprocity agreement or arrangement with other countries with the Philippines. Garcia reiterated that the primary goal of these efforts to reopen Cebu's borders is to bring back foreign tourists to perk up much needed spending in the tourism industry. Alfred Reyes, president of the Hotel, Resort, and Restaurant Association of Cebu, said the industry is pinning its hopes on the return of foreign tourists to drive hotel occupancy after the government decided to scrap facility-based quarantine requirement for vaccinated OFWs and ROFs. Starting February 10, that's tomorrow, the Philippines will accept fully vaccinated foreigners from non-visa required countries for tourism and business purposes. All travelers must present a negative RT-PCR test taken within 48 hours before departure and need not undergo facility quarantine anymore. Instead, they will self-monitor for any symptoms for 7 days. So this is great news. Looks like the vaccination proof or how to prove that you are fully vaccinated in Cebu is not going to be as much complicated as it is, because looks like Governor Gwen Garcia is going to scrap the reciprocal agreement with other countries with the Philippines, at least in Cebu. So if you are coming from any country or country of origin, as long as you are coming from the non-visa required country, your vaccination proof or vaccination certificates or card will be accepted when you enter in Cebu. And on to another good news today, still from Cebu. I have mentioned earlier that this good news, that this executive order that Governor Gwen has signed today will make this particular category happy. Yes, Cebu is going to accept unvaccinated foreign tourists starting March 1st of 2022. This executive order has already been signed by Governor Gwen Garcia. I am going to show you guys the content of that executive order. But yes, Cebu not only accepts fully vaccinated foreign tourists, they will also accept unvaccinated foreign tourists. And this is your protocol if you belong to that category. So let's go straight to section number 3 because this is the good news. Unvaccinated foreign nationals, effective March 1st of 2022, unvaccinated, partially vaccinated of foreign nationals whose vaccination status cannot be independently determined traveling to Cebu for business or leisure shall be allowed entry thereto provided they, letter A, present a negative RT-PCR test taken within 48 hours prior to departure from the country of origin. So 48 hours RT-PCR test is still required. Second, are swabbed upon arrival. So unlike foreign tourists who are fully vaccinated, they don't need to undergo the swab test upon arrival anymore. For you guys, unvaccinated, you will do the swab test upon arrival. Letter C, undergo a facility-based quarantine until the release of their second RT-PCR test result taken on the 5th day. Yes, you heard it right. You have to undergo quarantine for 5 days. You will be swabbed again on the 5th day, and if your result turns out negative, you will be released to your final destination. So, Cebu has its own protocols for unvaccinated foreign tourists. Unfortunately, this is only for Cebu. So, they did not say that this only applies to Cebu residents, but this is for foreign tourists, unvaccinated foreign tourists flying into Cebu. So if you're one of those who cannot enter the country, because the IATF was very adamant about it, that unvaccinated will not be allowed entry into the Philippines if you are landing in Manila, Clark, Davao, Cebu, you can land because, like I said, Governor Gwen has already signed this executive order today letting unvaccinated foreign nationals enter Cebu starting March 1st of 2022. Unvaccinated foreign nationals are strongly encouraged to get vaccinated during their stay in Cebu. The single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine shall be made available by the Department of Health for unvaccinated foreign nationals. So, they do encourage you to get vaccinated when you get to Cebu. You will get the one-dose vaccine, which is the J&J. But for sure, they're not gonna force you to get vaccinated. They encourage you to get vaccinated, but this is still your own choice and freedom if you don't want to get vaccinated. That is not going to be a hinder for you to enter Cebu. Section 4, manifestation of symptoms. Foreign nationals admitted to Cebu and who manifest symptoms for COVID-19 are required, letter A, to report to the hotel, resort, or accommodation establishment where they are staying, who will then coordinate with the local government unit concerned for the conduct of an RT-PCR test or rapid antigen test. Letter B, should the RT-PCR test or rapid test result be positive for COVID-19, the concerned foreign national shall undergo isolation. The local government unit having jurisdiction over the hotel, resort, or accommodation establishment where the foreign nationals is staying shall A, coordinate with the Department of Health for proper referral if the foreign national requires hospital admission, or identify the isolation facility for the foreign national if hospital admission is not required. Should the foreign national opt to remain in the hotel, the resort, or the accommodation establishment for his or her isolation, he or she shall follow the protocols of the Department of Health for quarantine. This is signed by Governor Gwendolyn Garcia, done on February 9th. That is today. So that is really good news for those unvaccinated foreign nationals. You may want to consider landing in Cebu because Cebu is accepting unvaccinated foreign nationals. And another good news, the Secretary of the Department of Tourism has said today that foreign tourists coming from the non-visa required country or those foreign tourists who are required to have a visa to enter the Philippines is not included on travel cap. Travel cap right now is at 5,000 passengers per day, but you guys will not be included on travel cap, meaning expect more flights coming in into the Philippines since the Philippine borders is going to be open tomorrow, February 10. Hopefully by then, ticket prices are gonna start going down. And also, this is just a friendly reminder to all foreign tourists, foreign nationals entering the country beginning tomorrow. Please follow the rule because whatever you say, whatever you complain, at the end of the day, the IATF resolution shall be followed. And remember, you are a visitor of a foreign country and you don't really have a whole lot of choice but to follow what the rules implemented on that foreign country, for example, the Philippines. Because by following the rules, that will save you a lot of headaches. So this is our quick travel update for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, concerns, or inquiries with regards to this video and in any of our travel related videos, please comment it down below and I will try to get back to you guys as soon as I can. Or you can direct message me on our Facebook page, same handle, the Eaton Squad. Again, thank you guys so much for the continued support and trust to our channel, the Eaton Squad. I hope to see you on our next travel update. Stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless everyone. And again, I would like to welcome our fellow foreign tourists in the Philippines once more. See you guys. Bye.